Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Joy Stephen and I am the Managing Director of Polinsys, as well as an authorized representative, authorized to represent your permanent residence application to Canada. Today, I am going to talk about how best you can use Polinsys to achieve your goal of immigrating to some of the best destinations in the world. In this video, I am going to specifically focus on Canada. Let me first explain the services of Polinsys so that you can get to know how Polinsys operates and what to expect from your immigration organization. In the end, I have also explained how the Polinsys fee structure works and what we have done to make it easier for our clients. Before you watch this video, you must watch, and I repeat, you must watch this video, the link which is provided here, on how to identify the person you are dealing with as a authorized person for your permanent residence application. At Polinsys, we are keen to offer a smooth and less stressful experience of dealing with the government with regard to your permanent residence application. With several years of experience and with handling several thousands of clients, we have developed this unique platform which will benefit our clients and will allow Polinsys to provide top-class service. In this video, I will attempt to explain the Polinsys way and how to best optimize your experience by showing you the methods of communication with the various departments you are going to be dealing with for your immigration application within Polinsys. This platform operates on a centralized processing and support structure followed currently by CIC, or Citizenship and Immigration Canada. We have actually taken a page from their operation style and tailored our platform in a way where there is reduced face-to-face interaction and much more digital interaction. This way, communications are all recorded and our clients are able to review them whenever they feel comfortable. In this video, I will also highlight the role of each member of the Polinsys team and what role they play and the service standards you can expect, including communication methods and response times. Your first contact with Polinsys would either be with your authorized representative, also referred to as your AR, at a free Polinsys immigration seminar, or possibly directly with your Polinsys immigration coordinator, who may be in touch with you because you are responding to a Polinsys advertisement or through social media or websites. Polinsys conducts several free seminars where you have an opportunity to actually see your authorized representative face to face. Authorized representatives travel from Canada to conduct these seminars internationally. Now, let us talk about the role of the Polinsys AR, or authorized representative. The Polinsys authorized representative focuses on your application and should not be disturbed with marketing, client service, or other responsibilities. A Polinsys AR is available to clients and at the free seminars hosted by the AR, or when an AR may contact you directly to obtain certain critical information about your file. Polinsys has several authorized representatives, and each Polinsys AR, or authorized representative, specializes in a few immigration programs so that they are experts at what they do. Now, how do you communicate with your Polinsys AR, or authorized representative? Communication, a Polinsys AR communicates with you only if there is a need. If you have any questions, you may route them through your Polinsys coordinator or your Polinsys document specialist. Our fee structure does not account for professional time between Polinsys AR and the client. All Polinsys contracts are signed between you and the Canadian authorized representative. This is very important for safety reasons because signing with an unauthorized person may render your contract not valid or you may be defrauded. Response time from your Polinsys AR. What is the response time you can expect? As contact with the AR is made through the coordinator or document specialist, please refer to response times and service standards of document specialists and AR to get an answer for this question. Now we will talk about the role of the Polinsys immigration coordinator, or the counselor. Some people call them counselor. They are the immigration coordinator. Your Polinsys coordinator evaluates you for the different permanent residence programs based on the selection criteria as suggested by the authorized representative. Your coordinator keeps you informed and is a conduit between your authorized representative and yourself. Once you decide to use the Polinsys service, you first pay your preparedness fee. This fee allows your document specialist to collect your documents and prepare you for the permanent residence application submissions. When you pay the preparedness fee, also referred to as registration fee in some regions, you may be focusing on one particular permanent residence program, but for Polinsys, we prepare you for any permanent residence program which you may qualify. Sometimes you may target 6.5 in IELTS for qualifying for the Express Entry program. However, if there is a PNP program requiring less IELTS score and it does not have to be selected from the Express Entry pool, then we are right there with your application so that we can submit it if you have all the documents and the IELTS scores. Typically, a preparedness fee is US dollars $295 for permanent residents and US dollars $150 for temporary residents like spousal or work permits, etc. Now, communication with your coordinator. Coordinators communicate through phone, Skype, and emails. We encourage all our clients to use either Skype or emails so that there is a track with the communications you have with Polinsys. You can always refer to the past communications with your coordinator if you follow that method. To avoid errors in communication, coordinators typically do not meet clients face to face just because it is always good to have a record of a meeting. Now, response time for your coordinator. If you are a Polinsys client, which means you have paid your preparedness fee, your coordinator must respond to you within 2 hours during regular business hours if he is available in the office. If you do not receive a response as per service standards, you must post your feedback and Polinsys will look into it. You must post your feedback in this link, www.polinsys.com/feedback. We will now talk about document specialist. Now, once you have paid the preparedness fee, you will then begin dealing with the document specialist who is tasked to collect all your documentation and prepare your file for submission. Document specialists have very critical roles and therefore they are not available to talk on the phone. Please communicate with your document specialist by email only. And why is this so? Why does the document specialist not attend phone calls? Documentation is a process which needs keen focus, and by attending calls in between a documentation process, errors are made. Errors in an immigration application is disastrous. Once you enter the documentation phase, then communication transfers to email. Your documentation is all done electronically and you can do it from the comfort of your home. If you have a scanner and computer, excellent. If you don't have them, please acquaint yourself with a browsing center or an internet center or a virtual office close to your home so that this task is accomplished. Now we will talk about the verifier. Once your documentation process is completed, then your file is transferred to a verifier. The verification process happens after the documentation process, document specialist process. The verifier typically verifies documents and the input which is done by the document specialist, and prepares the file for final submission. After the verification process, based on the program you are applying, a Canadian authorized representative is assigned. At this stage, if a permanent residence program is open and you are interested to apply for it, you will be required to pay the initial representation fee. Now, how do you communicate with your verifier? Typically, a verifier does not contact a client unless there is a compelling reason or to obtain a specific information which may have previously been overlooked. A verifier will let you know that your file is at the verification process, which normally takes 2 to 3 days. Then the file is evaluated for multiple permanent residence program and an AR is assigned to represent your application based on the program you qualify. You will be notified about the permanent residence programs available at that time, and if the programs you initially had desire to apply for still exists without any rule change or quotas being over, your file will be represented by your AR for that program. If there are multiple programs available and you want to partake in multiple permanent residence options, which will increase your chances, then you may want to evaluate the fees and attempt multiple programs. If there are no programs available, and if the program you initially registered for with Polinsys is filled or the regulations have changed, then your file will be kept in a state of readiness for the next available program. We are now going to talk about the Polinsys fees and how it is structured. Polinsys and its authorized representatives do not charge lump sum, or we do not charge a retainer or advance payment. Our fees are staggered so that you can pay them depending on the work done. Preparedness fee for international clients or clients outside Canada. We have a simple and straightforward preparedness fee, also called as registration fee, which allows our document specialist to collect all documents. Often our clients register for one program, but they can obtain all their documents, and when considerable work is done on their file, it may be too late, allowing the opportunity to pass all the regulations to change. Therefore, we cannot assure you if the opportunity will still be available when all the documents are ready. But fear not, because the preparedness fee will keep your application in a state of readiness for a next similar opportunity which may arise down the road. International clients, it means clients outside Canada, must take note of our client handling structure. We take permanent residence representation very seriously, and Polinsys do not have any agents. All our international office are seminar centers and document collection centers. Just as the Canadian government has implemented a centralized operation structure, Polinsys offices are also centrally managed in Canada with a regional business process center in Kochi, India. All your applications are centrally handled by trained staff, which allows us to train personnel with latest immigration procedures, and we are able to better handle our clients' needs, which was a challenge when we operated through agents. Please review our procedures, and everything is done by the Canadian office and everything is done online, which allows us to deal with our clients in writing for document requests and follow-ups. Fees indicated here does not include any local taxes if they are applicable. Now we will discuss representation fee. The preparedness fee is the registration fee, which prepares you for submissions. Representation fee is the fee provided to the authorized rep to represent your application with the government. It is very important that all of our clients understand that if you are seeking help with your application, it must be done only through an authorized representative, and this is a law for permanent residency. Please do not use unauthorized people, and if the embassy or the Canadian government comes to know that you have used an unauthorized person, they are likely to reject your application. Please watch this video, the link which I have provided here, to find out if the person you are dealing with is an authorized representative. Another thing you must be aware is that the contract or the retainer you sign between yourself and your representation or your permanent residence application must be with an authorized representative only. Do not sign a contract with a company or an unauthorized individual, because you may be defrauded and it is not valid. Compare the signed contract name and search on this site, on the government site or the regulator site, to know if the person you are dealing with is actually authorized. Polinsys always collects representation fees in stages depending on the work done. We do not collect lump sum payments, and your contract will spell the stages of payment. Review it carefully and use Polinsys only if you are happy with the fee we charge and the payment stages. Okay, now we are going to talk about the resettlement options and the resettlement team. Once you obtain your permanent residence, towards the time of obtaining your not after you obtain, but before you obtain your permanent residence, our resettlement team could get in touch with you to discuss resettlement plans and options available with Polinsys. Resettlement services are discussed only when we know there is a reasonable chance of obtaining your permanent residence, like when the province issues an invitation or when an express entry candidate is picked from the pool. Most of our clients prepare for resettlement themselves. However, you have an option to use the Polinsys resettlement support for a fee if you need that support. Once in Canada, you will be provided information about citizenship options, and you may use the services of your Canadian Polinsys office to seek support and representation of your citizenship application. I would also like to remind all our clients that we have a very fair fee system based on the service we offer. In certain countries, because of the difference in the value of the Canadian and US dollar with their currencies, there may be a feeling that the fee is exorbitant based on their standards. Immigration and its related services is governed by the Government of Canada, and if you are using a legitimate representative for your application, the fees also reflects the standards of Canada, as every authorized representative is a Canadian citizen or resident. If you feel the fees are too heavy, even after the split payment system we adopt, then you should not be using these services. Please review the fees and ensure you are comfortable to pay them before you subscribe to the Polinsys service. We would endeavor to make it as reasonable as possible, but services we offer justify our fees. I hope this video has given you some insight as to how you can deal with Polinsys and a brief outline of the fees we charge. If there's any questions, please feel free to send an email to support@polinsys.com or speak to your Polinsys coordinator and get your doubts clarified. We hope you have an enjoyable experience with Polinsys, and we wish you all the best for your immigration desire to migrate to some of the best destinations of this world. Thank you.